unregularradio.com.
Unregularradio.com.
A 24/7 online stream of everything regular radio doesn't offer. Also without that wagging finger of corporate or Big Brother. This is Radio Unleashed. Unregularradio.com.
Hello, this is Alan from Gunslinger. You're listening to Slow Says on Unregular Radio. Cheers.
Craziness. We got another British guest in, or British's guest, whatever, plural, on Spo Says. That was Alan from Gunslinger introing this show. And now this is Dave Crespo of Spo Says introing Signified of England. Here they are.
Becomes a lie. Can't go out too soon. Attacking got to cry. Arresting him oneself. Testing if we're right. Finding your intent. You're all fine. Yeah. I do that for a friend. To ask you frame of mind, hoping for the end. Your afraid you're still alive. Battle lonely place, and know where you can hide. With flashes from your past, wash over like mine. When it rolls, when it rolls, take goodbye. When it rolls, take goodbye, take when it rolls. A fortunate embrace freshens up your eyes. The world you used to see, it sinks almost subside. Further from your fate, ever knew that look inside. Close an open door, it's that time. Whoa, when it rolls, whoa, when it rolls, take goodbye, take. When it rolls, take goodbye, take. When it rolls. Do as I say, do what you want, you cannot break this violence. Do as I do as I say, when I'm you can't break the violence. Do as I do as I say, when I'm you can't break the violence. Do as I say, when I'm take goodbye, take when it rolls. Take goodbye, take when it rolls. Goodbye, Jack, when it rolls. Cheers. Yeah, we're Signified from Liverpool, UK. You're only as right as what you believe. You're only divided in what you can't see. Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come with me? you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Feeling you might not be as perceived. Desiring to lash out and maybe break free. Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, 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 blame. Blame, 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 blame. Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come? Don't you come with me? Yeah! Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Only need to blame, to blame, to blame, to blame. Blame, 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 blame. Thanks, guys. As you can hear us there, we've been busy with the old folks, so thanks very much. This one's called Edge of Your Seat. When you feel like life is on, keeps you on the edge of your seat. Whether the beat moves fast or slow, makes you want to move your feet. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Hiding for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Hiding for yourself. Last and D is scream. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Hiding from yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Standing on my fingers, you fend for yourself. Hiding from yourself. yourself. Step in my mouth and get you can't speak yourself. Step in my mouth and get you can't speak yourself. Step in my mouth and get you can't speak yourself. Hiding from yourself. Hiding from yourself. Hiding from yourself. Hiding from yourself. Cheers very much, guys.
Thank you.
Badass. Signified. Liverpool, England. Not New England, because that's where we are right here in Boston, Massachusetts. This is your host, Dave Crespo, music director here at Unregular Radio. I am sitting here in studio with Signified and company.
Indeed.
What's up? We got Ash, we got Brian, we got Keith, three-piece hard rockin' band from Liverpool, England, which is it's kind of well known for
There's some band there. What's the name again? There's a band.
Was it? I don't know.
Bootles,
maybe there might not be a band from there. I forget.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you're from there. What's it like being from Liverpool? Is there like a weight over you that you gotta be a certain?
Anyone's in a band. There's a lot of bands. It's very saturated scenes, but they're very still centered on the past. A lot of them. So you find, you get these other little kind of sub cliques that pop up around and everything. But there's definitely still a hanging on to a particular style. It's very much kind of an indie base. A lot of the bands, but it's good. A lot of saturation. A lot of good venues. But
there's still a metal scene in Liverpool.
Yeah, there's still a good metal scene.
Would you guys consider yourself metal?
Power trio, suppose, like metal, hard rock,
A bit of metal influence.
I would definitely say hard rock. I'm not sure I would go as far as to say metal influences, but
metal influences,
it's funny. That's it's Brian talking right now. That's a good voice.
Thank you, man.
I like you. There's a lot of bass in that one.
I'd just say though it appeals to people into metal. I mean, we've done gigs where there's metal bands and we can still rock as hard as a metal band.
Yeah.
Some of the songs, not all of them, some of them, but we're kind of diverse in what we do, so we can kind of play to whatever crowd and try and win them over. Someone into like alternative music would be into us, and someone into metal music would be into us. So
Yeah,
it's
we've
You're
had
like a bridge band.
We've done a gig in Amsterdam once, and we had a hip hop band end up jamming with us. You had a guy dive on decks and a guy rapping with us, and that was that was wild. I
don't think that's so far off. You got a lot of hip hop bands that kind of, the Linkin Park sound. They have like a metal thing going to them.
Of course, yeah.
I think Anthrax kind of started that back in the day when they worked with, what was it, NWA?
Yeah,
Public Enemy.
NWA.
Public Enemy, yeah.
So that's like, I don't know, that's very much part of the past and the future, and now the present.
Yeah.
I always find it funny. I was listening or reading your review or bio rather on your Reverb Nation, and it says that you say you're gritty rock and metal and this and that. But the difference between genres and the perception of genres from American soil to England has got to be different.
Yeah, well, very much so. It's strange though, isn't it? Because obviously when you come over here, you put the radio on. You're saturated with fantastic music. I mean, we get a lot of saturation of pop. And
wait a minute, most of the music that we have over here is from England.
Yeah, but we don't seem to have like much like hard rock or anything on the radio. It's more pop music and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's.
We think that our radio sucks.
We should swap, dude. We should so swap. For
yeah.
Our radio suck.
I don't know if I would. I don't listen to too much British radio. I do listen to some stations, but a lot of electro music is over there.
Yeah, there's quite a scene at the moment, definitely.
What is the scene in just like in England in general? What's it leaning towards right now in your eyes? I guess what are people going out to see, not listening to?
Dubstep.
Stuff
like that.
People are going out to see that.
Definitely.
Big shows as well, big dubstep shows.
I mean, I believe Nero have just come over, a big British.
Nero actually was just here.
Yeah, I mean they're rocking. I mean that's the kind of twinge. It's been really kind of laid on thick. Everyone's kind of having a bit of a dubstep twinge in the music at the moment. It's
What about rock bands? Are you see any dubstep rock bands?
I think Korn have done it, haven't they?
Yeah, they've just jumped in with Skrillex, haven't they?
Korn said that they invented dubstep, which is
that's a bold statement there.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
I was down at South by and I saw a bunch of bands doing like indie, like live dubstep.
We saw a band supporting a good friend of ours. Supporting Yashin, and they were a live dubstep, kind of dubstep metal almost.
Dubstep metal, yeah.
It worked, man. It was a really mean, aggressive,
really
dirty show. Yeah, we were sat having a beer and we just thought, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
it was fantastic. Like it really was. It really works. But it's how long that scene can be repeated unless there's some sort of pioneers that get it started properly and sort of work from there really.
For sure. So the band Signified, that is.
Yeah.
Liverpool, England. Formed in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
what's it like 6 years after the formation of the band? What's changed, I guess?
The music has definitely evolved, hasn't it?
Yeah, it took us a while really to find our own style.
That was 2006.
Yeah, that was 2006.
Yeah.
And we've worked gigging. We've hit the UK extensively, all over the show there.
Some shows in Europe.
Shows in Europe and such, and just kind of still popping at it really, and really playing with even the digital side of things. It's something we're going to be pushing a little further in the next recordings. Even touching with a bit of an electro sprinkle to the music as well. So there's been loads of things going behind doors, as well as kind of how we've been sort of steamrolling as well.
How many records have you guys actually put out? It seems like 4 or 5 is the answer to that, but
no.
Well, someone we did a radio interview the other day, and it was and we actually shelved. It was two EPs we were working on, and then we just suddenly didn't get it, and we went, it's good.
Yeah,
but it's not where we want to
try harder.
It was a direction that we kind of headed in with. You know what, we're on pretty much the same path. There was no kind of evolution.
Yeah.
It was almost kind of it was not much anything different. You know.
So does that mean to say when you go to these shows that you don't sell the old CDs, or you kind of try to shun away from that music?
Oh no, not at all. But there was a phrase where we wanted to really kind of push ourselves a little bit more experimentally and kind of try a few different things and branch out a bit. I mean, Brian,
did you bring some different toys into the scenario?
Oh, we used to use all
when
sorts.
I try to experiment, I usually try to use some toys to.
We've had a string quartet play with us. We've had
turntables and stuff like that.
We actually brought the string quartet over on a laptop.
Yeah, we've got they're hidden inside a laptop. Yep. We were going to use them today, but I think by the time we got a little bit lost around Boston.
That has to be illegal to like put people inside. So that's like
just don't tell TSA, man.
Isn't it? Oh man,
they're an easygoing quartet. They don't mind,
Well, let's get into one of your songs before we run out of time here. Okay. Seeking Comfort is the one that you had suggested. What recording is this off of?
This is
the self-titled EP. It's just called Self-Titled.
It came out in 2010, right?
That's the one, yeah. That's the
Excellent.
One. And this was initially conceived over a bottle of Southern Comfort.
SoCo. That's disgusting.
No, man.
I'm not a SoCo person.
Yeah, no, it was a bottle later, and suddenly the light bulbs were above our heads.
Yeah.
This tune brought out. Luckily, it was one of those drunk songs that stuck the next day, and we evolved it, and it just kind of.
It was like one of those times that literally you were lying on the kitchen and you looked up and all there was the light bulb.
That's it, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's more like
exactly that, yeah.
Nice.
You know us too well, man. You know us too well.
We got Signified here on Spo Says in studio. This is their tune off their self-titled 2010 effort, Seeking Comfort. We'll be back in after this song. There it is, Signified, Seeking Comfort. That was badass. So you guys recorded that when you were drunk, or you?
A little bit drunk, not very drunk though. No, it was conceived while drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, like many of us, probably around the table as well. To be honest.
How does Seeking Comfort have to do with alcohol? Other than like the Southern Comfort.
It was just first. It was a starting point for lyrics, and it was just comfort. And then it was like, well, what do we do? We got a bit philosophical. What are you doing? Sometimes are you chasing the bottle for? Are you looking for comfort in that? In the drink. There's
I see.
There's multi levels to this thing when you start looking into it.
See, us Americans, we're a little thick, so you got to really explain it to us.
Not at all, Dave.
Have you guys gone out to any other? Well, I mean, I know you've been to New York.
Yep.
On this tour, and you're going to New Hampshire, and you're going to play down at McGann's in Boston tonight. But where else have you been? Not necessarily on this tour, but on other tours.
Oh well, this is my first venture over to the States. But the lads you've come and conquered 19 states in one of your last tours, didn't you?
Really?
Yeah, it was like years ago, though.
It was years ago. We were like, it's when we were kids and like a death metal band, but we did. I mean, we roughed it in a van.
I think it was like 19 different states.
That's
I was like 21 years old.
So 2006, it must have been like
96.
96. All right, so totally different band.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. What did you learn on those tours never to do?
Save your money so you can
Yeah,
eat.
man, bring more money.
Yeah, bring more money.
The titty
That
bars.
must be difficult, like the whole currency change, and like maybe you have money at home, but you can't like bring it because I don't know what's that like.
No, this is one of those
That's
points
fine.
in New York. It was one of those points. New York is so expensive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Unbelievable. You're like that. What? Change for what? You know, I got to try my first Twinkies. They were overpriced Twinkies.
Yeah.
But they were good Twinkies.
They were good
definitely-
Twinkies.
They were
Oh,
damn
yeah.
good Twinkies, man.
I don't know. So there's no Twinkies.
There's
in
no
England?
Twinkies
Oh,
in the
no.
UK. No root
Not
beer.
at all.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
What?
Mountain Dew? No Mountain Dew?
I see. I don't drink soda. Not so much down with that. But I mean, I've been to England a few times. There's some good shit over there.
Crumpets.
Crumpets. I like.
Tea.
You know what I love is what are these things called? They're like little like pastries, and they've got like meat inside of it.
It's like a Scotch egg. It's like a Scotch egg.
Oh god.
Pasty.
Pasty.
Oh my
Pasties
god.
rock, man.
So
Cheese and onion
good.
pasties, mate. They're the best.
It's man, amazing.
Of course, sausage rolls. I've not seen any sausage rolls since I've been here.
You know, there's a good place down the street. This is ridiculous. We're just fucking like talking about
Talking
but-
food, you're making
yeah,
me hungry,
talking-
man.
But there's like a Chinese place that makes little things like that. Quite tasty.
We'll have to hit that
We'll
one.
have to check it out, man.
pasties. Oh man, and clotted cream.
Yeah.
Oh, with scones, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
How do we miss them out? You know.
That's my deal. But when I went to England, I was really surprised that there wasn't more beer out there. Maybe because I was in London and it was like it's more commercial.
Yeah, that's Southerners. It's the Northerners who really like the beers, to be honest.
Yeah.
When you're
Really?
down south,
Yeah.
you don't get much in the way of different lagers and beers. You go up north.
It was
those
basically
Northerners-
American beer when I was
Yeah,
down
that's
there. I was
London
like,
for you.
what? But up north, see, I've never gone up to Liverpool, so
You should come.
Yeah,
I
man.
should
We
come.
will
You
look
know,
after you, man.
You know very well how expensive it is to get over there.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? But you know, once you're over, we'll look after you, dude.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm gonna take you up on that because I told you I got family in the south, so I'll like
There
hang
you
out
go.
down there, then I'll go north.
There we go.
Yeah,
You should do it, man.
Definitely.
but you guys are at McGann's tonight. Anything special planned for the Boston show of your tour?
No, just looking forward to getting to use our synth and click stuff because obviously with us being a three-piece, we wanted to add a few different elements to the live show if possible. And as I mentioned before, we had a quartet record for us, and it's nice to kind of bring that element to the show. It pricks people's ears up, you know. So it's going to be nice to throw that in the set tonight. Really, it's going to be nice just to play with some
Yeah.
sort of nice varied bands, really, to be honest. So
Yeah, it's a good bill. The Pandemics are also on it. The Scattered Gang.
okay.
They're you guys are the meat of the sandwich though. With
Good stuff.
3-band bill
Good
right
guy.
in the middle of it. But so the way this show goes, the show being Spo Says, at 15 past or a little before today, we play the top 5 non-local tracks, which you guys have made it onto
Oh,
in
cool.
the past.
Okay.
But not. It's kind of like a conflict of interest if you guys are like in here and you're making the top 5.
Of course, yeah.
It looks kind of sketchy. But we're gonna start off the top 5 with a New York band, the Modern Airline. This song is "Periods of Missing Time." Before that, I want to thank you guys for coming in.
Been a pleasure, mate.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
No
much.
problem, man.
Good luck tonight. Rock it. We'll get into the top 5. We'll be back with the rest of it shortly.